So it is the day after Chelsea beat West Ham 2-1 in the Premier League.
Woohoo.
Lewis is late. The Pope is a Catholic. There you go.
I thought you were about to
Happy
say something
days.
else then.
Oh, no.
Oh dear.
Not this time.
Also that as well, but it doesn't need to be said.
But yeah, I think it was positive, wasn't it? It was very positive
Well,
yesterday.
the result was, yeah.
Yes.
3 points was positive. That was about
Let's
it.
start with the positives, because we started with Robert Sanchez last time, didn't we?
That was a positive that he didn't play.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
There we go.
I mean,
But
yeah,
I think that was low-key expected. Like, if Maresca had started Sanchez, I think there would have been riots in the stands before the game.
I remember I was listening to Lewis and Charlie after, I think it was the Sunday evening show you guys ran, and Lewis was saying that he remembers when Sarri was the manager and how toxic it was at Stamford Bridge. He said, if Sanchez plays, or if the result doesn't go the way we want it to,
It
will get to that level, which I almost thought was a bit of an outlandish take, but it was pretty toxic when we were 1-0 down, I'm not going to lie.
Well, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Mate, I was saying to you after the game last night, that first half could have fell asleep. Mate, I was drained. I was so tired sat there watching it.
Yeah. It
It
was
was
quite boring. I said to
it was
Alex
so
on my
boring.
phone cam.
I mean, it reminded me of when Potter was our manager. It was a classic.
Is that because he was there, so we just
match.
felt the aura?
No, but it was
inside
like,
the bridge?
I would have said to you at half time, like, imagine you didn't know who was playing, like which player was which, and you didn't know who was playing for which team. I wouldn't have known which team Graham Potter was managing. It was
West Ham were
literally
well
a
drilled, by the way.
They were very well
Very well
drilled, it's
drilled.
true. But I mean, at the same time, like when he gets a lot of stick. When he was at Chelsea, like, we were still relatively well drilled defensively.
Yeah,
We
we
just
defensively
couldn't
good,
score
yeah.
any goals. And that's basically what West Ham looked like, to be honest with you. They looked like they capitalised on that one chance with Bowen, but they didn't create an awful lot.
There was a big block from Tosin at the end, which probably
I think they hit the bar as
Yeah,
well.
They did hit
Kudos
the
hit the
bar.
post, and then there's a massive block from Tosin right like near the end, which probably saved a certain goal as well. So, mate, we were a little bit lucky at the end, but you
Yeah.
take
And the
it.
goals were lucky, I think, as well. I mean, first one, bit of a scramble to clear it out. Yeah, Pedro Neto, great finish, because that also couldn't have gone in. But then the second one, it was like a cross on the ground, and then it took a deflection.
Yeah, defect. It was
And it
own
was
goal.
in,
Yeah,
but
I
you
mean,
needed it.
make
you
your
know?
own luck, don't you?
Yeah.
We needed that. So.
And we rarely have had luck in recent time as well, I think. Do you know what I mean? We've always been on the wrong ends of that, like teams being lucky, getting late winners, but it's never us. So, yeah, take it.
Absolutely. And I think from our perspective, we just needed to kick on, right? We come back against Wolves and we thought, right, this is the shift in momentum that we needed. It was first win in however many games. And then to have the result against City, which was there for the taking, I mean, me and you were there, Charlie, it was so disappointing. I wasn't even disappointed with the players. It was just Sanchez. I thought if he wasn't on the pitch, we really could have got something out of it. So even just looking at the starting lineup, seeing that Jorgensen was in the squad instead of Sanchez, I was like, I'm already more confident. You don't even need to tell me about the game style, what we're going to do, whether we're inverting a fullback, whatever it is. I feel more confident just based on the fact that we have a keeper who, hey, listen, Jorgensen still make a mistake. And people would still be happier than having Sanchez because you know that if Jorgensen makes a mistake the next game, he probably won't do the same thing. And the game after that, he'll have it in the back of his mind. I've done this before. Don't fuck it up.
But he's also 22, so it's more. I'm not saying it's acceptable to make mistakes, but it's more understandable when younger players with less experience make mistakes. Sanchez 27,
Yeah.
but he's experienced goalkeeper, and he's doing mistakes every week.
And also, Sanchez has had this many games to make the mistakes he has. Why is it that if Jorgensen makes one little mistake in one game that he instantly should be
it'd
back
be
on
interesting
the
to
bench?
see. I don't know if you've seen Maresca's comments afterwards, like when he was explaining the
He was
change.
laughing.
He said that like he needed, like basically he said, "Oh, we gave Robert a rest." It's like you haven't given him a rest. Like you might as well just be honest about it. You dropped him because he's been playing shit. Like that's the reality. But do you know what'll be interesting, right? Because obviously Jorgensen's the cup keeper, isn't he? Well, he has been this season. Cup game at the weekend. Does Sanchez now become the cup keeper? Or do we just stick with Jorgensen?
No, you stick with Jorgensen, of course. That gives him the run of games now. He can
But
get a little bit of momentum.
I have to admit, though, I wouldn't even be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Oh,
Sanchez
Oh,
played on
guys, stop
Saturday.
it. Do you think?
Yeah, well, if it's the cup, and if he's genuinely the number 2 now, the number two, the number 2's the cup keeper these days, isn't it? So,
Oh, God.
Oh my God! So we can make Brighton feel better about themselves for letting
although
him go.
although to be fair though, like even if Sanchez is the cup keeper now, you don't play him at Brighton away because his head was gone in that league game at home when he made 2 mistakes. Think about what's going to be like at the Amex where they don't like him. He's low on confidence. They'll be hammering him. It's got mistake just written all over it.
I'm trying to think, what was the score against Brighton in the league?
4-2.
1-0. Oh.
No, but last
In the
season.
cup.
2-1. No, 2-1 in at the Amex. That was like last away game of the season. Where Cole Palmer header and then Kunku scored as well.
Yeah. And what about
And
the
we had the
home
guy
fixture?
that was crying about that other guy that was like moaning about the abuse he was getting.
Yeah, that TikTok guy, because
Yeah.
everyone said he was fat
Yeah.
in the way. And then, what was it? Who ate all the pies? Or,
Oh,
no,
I can't remember. It was funny though. It was funny.
hilarious. I think he actually reported the away section.
Yeah, but
to
he's
the
got a
police.
massive TikTok following, so he was loving it.
It's true. He was loving the clout. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Sanchez really ever has great games against Brighton. I remember in the cup last season, he was horrendous.
Carabao.
Carabao,
Yeah.
that was when Jackson
1-0
scored.
Jackson,
We
yeah,
won the 1-0, yeah. So I think definitely time for a rest, a permanent rest. Can we move him on? I don't know.
Who's taking him?
I looked at Transfer Market and they value him at £20 million, which I think is great if you can offload him for that money.
Mate, no one's paying 20 mil for him.
No. And I think that we could probably agree he's the worst keeper in the league. The stats in terms of the mistakes he's made this season would add to that
It's more
argument.
than outfield players as well.
Yeah,
With like errors leading to
what I would
goal.
say, like, obviously, his mistakes and that are shocking. But his underlying like shot stopping ability, that's never been in question. It's just the fact that he's just full of
There he
he's
is.
just full of mistakes.
Charles.
So yeah, he has to go.
Yeah. Lewis, what do you make of Jorgensen?
Gave me the bare minimum, which is more than what Sanchez has given me in 4 months. So that's a positive. Starting for the next 6 games and keep it stepping. I don't care if he makes a mistake in the next match. Sanchez gets to be untouchable every week. Let Jorgensen get that. I'm guessing you touched on everything else of his performance.
Yeah,
Pretty much
there
more to
weren't
add
really
on
much
that.
to say about Jorgensen. He was fine, and that's
enough, guys.
That's
It's
better
more
than what we've been seeing. So, but there's nothing he could do about the goal. And then other than that, he made the saves that he should have made, and his distribution at the back was decent. The biggest thing, I've said it before, when he's on the ball at the back, you don't get nervous. Like that's the biggest plus. Because when Sanchez is on the ball at the back, as soon as he gets the ball, there's a nervousness about it, in from the fans and that. But with Jorgensen, there's no nervousness. You just trust him to just do the right thing.
No, it's true.
No errors leading to shots, no errors leading to goals, no nothing.
I
Just
spoke
simple
to
passing.
people after the game, and I think Matt was one of them. He said, I still don't trust Jorgensen. And I didn't understand. I don't
Well,
understand why
mate-
people feel the need to say that.
No, but maybe in terms of you trust him more than Sanchez, but you probably don't have full trust in him because we don't actually know how good he is because he's only played like a few Conference League games and that was his 3rd Premier League game. So, I can understand from that point why you perhaps wouldn't fully trust him because you don't really know how good he is. But now he has to have a run for the rest of the season, and then we can really find out how good this guy actually is.
It's more like, what howler did he have for us to still be a bit wary about
Well, he had a bad game away at Newcastle. That's about it.
Yeah, but
Did he?
in the Carabao when
Cup,
we went
yeah.
out.
I
But
don't even think he had a bad game in that one.
Well, I mean, he
but
was let
everyone
down
was
by the
poor.
players around
Everyone
him,
was
I know,
which
but
shocking.
like,
made
I
him look worse.
I remember that his performance, like there was like one dodgy pass, and that was it. There's nothing else. Literally nothing else. So I don't know, maybe Cfctvyt, but that was a game where like everybody was crap.
Oh, what,
and
the,
it weren't
second,
just
the
him.
one we
Yeah.
lost the second leg. Yeah, he was a bit poor in that. But yeah, but we're talking like very few things. Sanchez, you could reel off about 5 or 6, 7 games straight away where it was a problem.
It is mad. But I mean, I personally think that Jorgensen can be a starter for Chelsea. I really do. I saw the game against Heidenheim was a clear example.
Yeah.
That guy is a good goalkeeper. And people talk about different leagues. You've got to adapt. You're a goalkeeper. You don't have to press. You don't have to worry about...
No, but the
yeah, people
physicality
still...
is different though.
It's not that different. You've got to save the goals. Save the goals. Even if you're in Italy or Germany, you're still saving goals. You don't lose that just because you moved to a different country. I mean, that's the way I see it. So I think people overthink the goalkeeping situation. I would be totally open to Petrovic coming back, but if it's not, for me, Jorgensen, I think he's good enough. I think he's good
Well,
enough.
it depends what you're looking to achieve.
Well, I mean, top 4, easy.
Yeah, top 4 is good enough, but...
And there's nothing to say that he can't progress on from that as well, based on his stats in La Liga.
Yeah.
So, we're not looking at Mike Penders, who's in Belgium. I think that might be a bit different. If you're signing the best keeper in the Turkish league, for example, maybe you'd have some reservations. But he's come from a top league. He's one of the best players that we signed at that point, statistically. And I just struggle to see how it won't work out. I think that, actually, if there's one thing I give... I know we got it wrong with Sanchez, but I also put it on the manager. Why'd you pick him? We've signed some good keepers. We just don't play them.
Have we?
Well, Petrovic and Jorgensen.
Yeah,
they're
sure.
good
But what I would say is, though, is that I wouldn't have confidence in either of those to be Premier League winning goalkeepers.
No, obviously not.
Well, you say that. I mean, I think Petrovic probably is good enough based on how he's performed over the past
Yeah, sure,
2 years.
sure. He was all right. It was good last season, right? He did
been
well,
great
and
this
he's doing well at Strasbourg.
Rosner's come out and said that
Well,
he's been
called him-
world class.
I think the bigger thing is neither of them can be considered title winning with the questions we still have of the back line anyway.
Yeah.
So you
that's
combine
so
the pair of
important.
them, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, still got to look at the centre-backs, innit? For me, off that game alone, Tosin and Chalobah got to go back to being our back two.
Yeah, why did Chalobah not start this game?
I don't actually
Yeah, I'm
know.
surprised. He's the one that got dropped.
What was
Yeah,
the
I mean, because
reason?
I said to you last night after the game, if he dropped him based on the City performance, Colwell was worse than Chalobah. I felt in the City defeat. So
Do you think it was more about height and just
West Ham didn't really
pure
have much height.
physicality?
All right, yeah, Souček's quite tall, but you really swapping.
Honestly, I think it's because we started the season with Colwell and Fofana being the starting back two. So they're considered the starters.
the best?
And it's okay, I kind of get, but Colwell's come in and he's had 2 games with 2 howlers. Tosin and Chalobah against Wolves wasn't really a problem. Let me go back to that.
So true.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about the back line. Nina, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, Lewis makes a great point about our defence because I think we all came into the season thinking defence is still probably our weakest point coming into it. And I think that the fact that we have had as many goals conceded in every game. Yeah, Sanchez has been... Guys, I'm losing my voice already.
Have a drink.
Thank you. I'm back now. And the fact that we have conceded as many goals, I think you can combine the whole, defence and the goalkeeping situation. And I think that we didn't really have a best duo. And I think Charlie and I have spoken about this a lot. Like, what is our best kind of defensive line? Different Chelsea fans at the start of the season would have given you different choices. But now I do think that, Wesley Fofana, but he's gone now. Tosin hasn't made that many mistakes. He actually scored some pretty crucial goals as well for us recently. So start him. Chalobah, you already showed how desperate you are with bringing him back and then starting him first game as soon as he came in. So didn't really see why he needed to be dropped. But I do think there is a pressure to play Colwell just purely because of, the player he is, the fact that we're still yet to see him at his best. And I will never agree with anyone that ever said that Colwell should be a captain at Chelsea. He's always the closest to getting sent off. He picks up yellows way too easily. Yeah. And he's just unreliable at the back.
He's still only 21, by the way.
I know, but I would never make him captain now.
Not right now. But I think, look, Colwell has not been amazing this season. He has made a lot of mistakes leading to goals. But when people speak about Colwell, they speak about him like he's 27, 28. The kid's 21. This is his second full season playing Premier League football. And, I'm not expecting...
Brighton?
No, yeah, he didn't play. Yeah, but he didn't play every game in that. This is this is his second proper season playing regularly.
Okay.
And you're going to make mistakes as a young defender. That's part of it. That is going to happen. But I think that the big issue is that one, he's seemingly almost undroppable, which very few players should really be. But then secondly, as we've touched on before, the lack of experience alongside him is a massive problem. You talk about Gary Cahill, right? When we had Cahill was not an unbelievable defender. Played alongside JT, his game just elevated to another level. So if you have an experienced head alongside him, Colwell, if he was playing alongside Silva this season, probably would have made far less mistakes.
That's why Disasi and Badia Shaw both looked half decent defenders playing alongside Thiago Silva.
But this is it. This is why we've missed the boat. I'm not saying you can it's possible to get all these guys in a month, but that's why I think we made a big mistake in the summer and another mistake in this window, not addressing getting a leader at the back, because not only does it make a difference to how good the team is, it also elevates the player that's playing alongside him.
No one ties them in.
We're missing both of them. We're missing a top centre-back and we're missing that leadership to improve the other defenders around them.
And ultimately, you put too much pressure on, I think, Colwell for his age. Which I think is the deeper thing out of all of it.
Do you think that he deserves that pressure?
I mean, what do you mean by deserves?
Or do you think that he's played well enough to earn that? For example, you expect Palmer to perform week in, week out because of how good he's been. Do you think that Colwell's in a similar situation as a centre-back?
No, I think it's more potential. Like, you know, the
potential.
level that he can be, but we've seen it with lots of young centre-backs before. I use Christensen as an example. Like, it took him till the age of like 24, 25 to fully grow into his body and stop being like dominated physically in most games. And I think we're in that sort of position with Colwell, where like no one's writing him off. No one's saying he's going to be a crap centre-back. But for now, like, maybe shouldn't be a starter. Maybe should just be like more depth and like grow into that role a bit more.
So we're looking at Chalobah and Tosin as our main two, which I'm surprised
Until
about.
Fofana's back, then he goes straight back in.
That's fair enough. He can come in for a week and then he'll be injured again. So that's fair enough.
Unfortunately.
I mean, to be fair, I do wish Fofana was available, but he just...
I guess you got to stay fit in it, is what it is.
The best thing you can do is be available in the modern day. That's what, mate, Aspilicueta. Looking back at that guy.
But that's what you'd want, though. You'd rather have like a 7 out of 10 player available every week than sort of like an 8 or 9. It gives you a few weeks and then isn't there. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I wouldn't say Colwell like deserves to be like dropped and shouldn't be in the team for a number of games. But I think there's got to be a realization that this guy is not untouchable, and right now he seems to have untouchable status, which isn't really. It's not really. I don't know if deserves the right thing, but he probably doesn't deserve that status because the performances this season haven't been good enough to warrant that. But then on the flip side, can we really say that? I mean, obviously Chalobah's only just come back, but Colwell probably has over the course of the season been better than Tosin, and obviously he's also been better than Disasi, who's gone now. He's been better than Badiashile, so he probably does deserve to play based on that. But it's very much a bit of a, I don't know, it's like quite a low bar in terms of the centre-backs we've got at the moment.
He's got good qualities, like, don't get me wrong, like leadership I don't think is one of them personally for me, but you know, you can tell he wants to play for the team and he's very like passionate and he's always the first to go over if
I think his
there's,
leadership's
like,
quite good,
scrap
by the
in
way.
team. Really? But what do you put that down to? Like what characteristics?
In terms of he's always backs his team in terms of
yeah,
like
but
if anyone's
that's
in his...
you want every player to do that. Back
Yeah,
the
but
team.
not everyone does that.
True,
Like
but...
if there's a scrap or whatever going on, whether you think
Palmer.
whether
I mean,
you
he's
think
first
it's
over there,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I mean. Though, is the
sometimes keep your
first.
cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You know, he's got to learn when the right time to do that is. But like, he is someone that does. I think he has got leadership qualities. Like particularly, you know, there's scraps going on, and he's always the first one on the scene to break it up. Yeah, okay, he might get himself booked. You know, it could get sent off, but you know he's still young. You know, that's part of that part of his game will probably go as he gets more
Honestly,
experience.
to me, it's
gets
like
older.
you got fight at the wrong time.
Yeah,
for me.
you've got to pick the battles in there.
Yeah,
That's the
anytime
thing,
the ball's
that's
out
the
of play,
issue.
man's beefing with someone.
Yeah.
You're getting
Yes,
bitched
yes,
out
yeah.
every time you're on a 50-50. It's like, it's great and everything, but I don't need that then. I need that like when you're dealing with Haaland or when you're dealing with a 50-50 or an aerial duel. But they're young, they're inexperienced, you're going to get that. We have like how many immature moments of our squad. That's why it comes down to the fact that overall we don't really have the leadership there anyway.
No.
Well,
You see how we like peak and then go up and down in games just depending on...
Because it's hot and cold,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like you don't. How many like centre backs this season have had consistently good performances for like 5-6 games? That's the minimum right now. Do you know what I mean? And it's the fact that it is so hot and cold, and I think maybe apart from Cucurella, consistently over the season, who else has kind of kept up that similar standards game in game out? Obviously, Reece James is just back. We're not going to
talking
know.
just defensively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
pure
yeah.
defensive ability. Do you know what I mean? And that's a big issue. And I said at the start of the season that was masked by us outscoring our opponents every game. We were still conceding and making, you know, mistakes at the back, but we had players up front that were kind of pulling it out the bag every time. And, you know, you're not going to really talk about defence when you score 3, 4, 5, 6 goals a game. But now when it came to this issue where we were struggling to score goals, you know, they massively decreased, then we're now kind of exposing this problem at the back. So, yeah, it is the goalkeeper, but it is also defence. you know, because how many times has the goalkeeper been left in a situation where, yeah, he will just concede because of our defence? But like back to Colwell, I think he does have good qualities in terms of maybe his assists would actually be up if some of the balls he plays forward are really good. They're really creative, but maybe someone's not always on the end of those. So again, his numbers could be up. I think he's quite intelligent in his like ball playing ability moving forwards. But again, defensively, one-on-one, you worry a little bit. And I think a lot of our goals have kind of come down that left-hand side. So whether it is him, whether it's a combination, maybe Cucurella kind of leaves him exposed quite a bit when he's inverting in midfield as well. So when it comes to kind of one-on-one defending, he's kind of left in a bit of a panic situation. But yeah, it's just too hot and cold of defence.
I think with a back line, right, you just got to settle on a back four and just stick with it, because the constant changing of defensive partnerships is no good. You know, you've got to get used to playing with someone. So if for the remainder of the season until Fofana comes back or whatever, just settle on a partnership. If it's Colwell and Chalobah, just play them every game.
It's just mad with all those injuries. Fofana's still the standout one.
Yeah, he's still the best one. He's still the best one.
And we all just miss his recovery pace. No one's got that.
No, they don't. But I think like you've got to just stick with a partnership.
What about Anselmino?
Oh, that brother's like 18 and played a handful of games. God forbid. We're talking about lack of experience. He's just gonna double that up.
He's not ready, mate.
I mean, I haven't seen him play.
He's not ready.
He's barely played. Barely played.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the midfield and then we'll go up top. And I want to actually talk about the window as well for the second half of this. Fernandes and Caicedo again in the midfield. No Dewsbury Hall, but if one of them gets injured, you've got to play Dewsbury Hall.
Or the new signing.
He's
19-year-old.
Yeah.
I think
12 million from St. Etienne.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Labia regen from the looks of it.
A new wonder kid, guys.
Yeah.
On the
Potential. Talent.
Potential.
All of that.
Opportunity. It was an opportunity,
Opportunity.
Lewis. It was an opportunity, mate. We couldn't say no.
For the future, guys.
We're the only ones that took the opportunity. No one else saw that opportunity. So well done to the directors.
Round of applause.
Yeah, round of applause. Well done, guys.
But welcome to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Welcome to Chelsea. I hope you do really well.
But yeah, I mean, I do feel for the two midfielders. I do, because if they're going to play week in, week out, it's going to have a real strain.
See how good they are of a week off as well. You could have cut that man of the match award in half and given half of it to each of them.
So true.
Like Caicedo, just a standard 8 out of 10 that you always get. Enzo Fernandez, I said it on my review though, like this guy's probably had the most improvement I've seen out of a Chelsea player this season. Passing's got better, positioning's got better, and the defensive work rate and his ability off the ball in terms of covering ground, winning duels, like
He's everywhere. He was everywhere.
Yeah, it's like he's improved tenfold on nearly every aspect of his game.
I think he understands the role now. I think that's the key thing. Like he actually, I think he fully understands what's being asked of him from Maresca. And like the biggest change, like his quality on the ball's never been in doubt. But like the big problems at the start of the season were his off the ball stuff, like his position off the ball, his work rate off the ball, his defensive work. Those things have all massively improved. So I think it's just an overall improvement under Maresca, but just actually fully understanding his role and what's required of him.
100%.
And we spoke about this before. I think it was me, you, and Lewis, but he's actually fit.
Yeah.
For the first time in the longest time possible, he's actually fully fit, which makes a big difference as well.
But do you guys not worry every time Caicedo or Enzo go down?
Yeah, of course.
Just even the slightest bit. If you're holding
them.
your leg, your head, anything, I'm sitting there panicking.
Yeah,
I'm like, no,
we're done. If one of them gets injured, we're finished.
We are finished. If Caicedo's done, I think Dalton. I spoke with Dalton yesterday.
prayer.
You know, Matt's mate.
Yeah.
And Dalton was like, I said, Dalton, where do you think we're going to finish? And he was like, to be honest with you, mate, I didn't think we'd finish in the top 4 for the past 2 years anyway. He's like, I still don't think we'll finish top 4. I'd be surprised if we get top 8. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's
but
very cheery.
if we were to lose Caicedo,
fucked, yeah.
that is a very valid point.
Yeah.
Because we are not far away from any of these other teams. And you look at how they've progressed and how we've regressed, it's actually pathetic. In fact, let's just get straight into it. Because I think this is more than a 35-minute conversation, to be totally honest with you.
Well, it might not.
How rubbish. I mean, it's got to be the worst transfer window. It's definitely the worst transfer window since Bowley and Clearlake have been involved.
It's the worst transfer window since the summer.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it
it's a
is.
very low bar.
We followed up a dog shit window in the summer with an even worse window now. What team goes into a transfer window and finishes it with a worse squad than they entered it with?
Chelsea.
Exactly. It's mental. Like, it is honestly, like...
It's mad. Our biggest positive is we didn't get Garnacho.
Yeah, that was the bit. Like,
Hey, that could still happen in the summer.
Yeah, well, yeah, well,
No, no, that's done in my eyes. Never associate our name with that guy again. God forbid.
But like, it's just so poor. Like, we spent 34 days, or however long the window was, and all we did was sign a 19-year-old on deadline day, who's going to go on loan to Strasbourg next season anyway. So,
would you count recalling loans?
no,
additions?
we're not doing
It's
that
quite
bullshit.
an easy
No.
way out, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
we said we needed centre backs and we brought him in and then we loaned out another one. So it's like to a top 4 rival as well, by the way. Even though we said top 4 doesn't matter, now top 4 does matter. But then we loaned him anyway, so it doesn't matter again.
Yeah, we insisted that we wouldn't loan to Champions League rival, and then a few hours later, we rejected 6 million loan fee from Villa,
and we accepted 5.
And we accepted 5, and then loaned him out to a Champions League rival, having insisted we wouldn't do that. Yeah, great. And then we announced it 10 minutes into the game last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's that about?
What?
Just begs belief, innit?
And then you let Joao Felix go, which in isolation I'm not fussed about. But then you bring no one else in, so you've got one less attacking option and less attackers for the rest of the season, less rotation for the Conference League and the cups.
The Joao Felix one I'm not as fussed about. Like, one of him or Nkunku had to go.
Yeah, but in terms
I would have ideally kept Felix.
Yeah, but in terms of having one less option now in attack, we've now got one less option.
No, I get, but like them two are dying for minutes anyway. So like,
yeah, but if something happens
really
to Palmer,
too
we're
much for
fucked
me.
now. Well, we're fucked anyway. But
Nkunku, innit? It was going to be one of him or Felix, and it's like, just pick your poison.
Man, Nkunku just don't want to be here. You could just tell, even again last night, just looked at him, he just didn't really do anything. I just get you just tell he don't want to be here.
I could tell off past games. The only thing I got out of yesterday's performance was you weren't a problem.
But he played wide though, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to be on the left. I was a bit confused over that, but I didn't really see anything bad out of it. There's nothing really like amazing either.
No.
But another thing is, like, Nkunku has known that he's not considered in like the plans, first team anyway, and also he's been considered for sale, right, whether for now or in the summer. And I'm just thinking, like, with that substitute, you're bringing on a player to inspire motivation in the team who's not even really in your plans at all, and he's like almost a kind of futile sub every game just to bring Jackson off, and it's like a like for like, and he's not even the same kind of player. It's not the same profile.
He's seemingly now behind Guiu for the number 9 role, because Maresca went to Guiu for the Jackson sub instead of Nkunku. So it looks to me like now, based on that evidence from last night, Guiu's the alternative number 9 option. And
but honestly, that's about damn time. Maresca's told us
it's about
4
time,
times he ain't a 9.
That's so true.
But then it's like, you tell me that, and then you bring Nkunku on as the 9, and you're just
9.
contradicting yourself.
But how mad is it though that, like, we're however many windows in we are under this ownership, and we're in this is the 3rd year of their ownership, and our number 9 options are Nicholas Jackson and Mark Guiu.
Seeing them both pull up on deadline day as well, it's like, yep, this is the karma we
both
deserve. Great.
injured. Well, they both had injury scares. I don't know what the full extent
apparently
is.
they're fine, but I will know on Saturday.
Yeah,
I won't believe it till then.
I thought Mark Guiu made a good impact.
he looked all right, mate.
He
works
made the right
hard. He works hard, and like
Good fundamentals, good link-up play, and he actually has presence in the box.
Guys,
I
he's
can't lie,
actually
we don't
in the
see from
box.
Jackson.
He's central.
Like, if you lot watch the equaliser back, it's partly because he was dragging 2 centre-backs with him, and then you got the space on the right-hand side exposed for Neto. Jackson don't really do that. He's a little bit lost in the box. And we said we wanted someone with a bit of box presence. That's why we want Hughes just get some minutes. Show me something. And if he's not good enough, fine, brother's 18, I don't care.
But that was only his 3rd appearance in the league this season.
Appearance or
And even then, that's probably the most minutes he got in a game.
Most minutes he had in the league game, because he come on in the first game against Man City. He come on late against Palace, and then he come on in this one. But this one was the most minutes he had. He had about 40 odd minutes in this game.
And he deserved those minutes as well. Jackson has just fallen off.
Well, he's the only alternative we've got, so we have to give him them minutes.
I mean, I still have faith in Jackson. I really do.
Same.
I think that he is capable of 20 goals. I don't think that you have that run of form that he had at the beginning of the season without being good enough and being clinical. And the way he finished as well, it's not like he was finishing chances. You know, like when Morata started scoring goals for Chelsea and he got that hat-trick against
this
Stoke.
is much more composed finishes that we've seen compared to last season. But it's all just faded. Like, you got a demon. Man's last goal was in December.
That's what I was going to say.
And
And
scored,
he's
crazy.
full of
and scored this year. Like he has missed quite a few chances, but like, I don't understand what's not happening now that was happening earlier. Like, I don't really get it. But the whole attack's dropped off really since the start of the season. I know obviously Neto was good when he come on, and that was his best game in a while. But again, I don't think Madueke was that great last night. Sancho didn't really notice him that much.
No.
Those are your options now. Like, you got Madueke, Sancho, and Neto, and obviously then you got the young lad Tyreek George, who might do something here and there. But the wing options are, I don't want to say they're worrying, but they're not producing very much, and that's got to change, because otherwise we're going to have big problems.
Well, yeah, go on, Ian.
No, I was just going to say that for me, like, Neto kind of inspired the change that we needed in the game when he came on, because he injected so much life. And Mark, you as well, you can just see when players are hungry and actually want to play and prove themselves that they really, really do switch things up. Like, for me, Neto, I've said this, behind Palmer, best crosser on the team, put a guy in there in the box that can score goals.
We haven't got one of them.
And that's the thing,
Now
that's the problem.
Well,
So
he
you're
might
looking
be
at-
someone.
Yeah.
Well, he's better than what Jackson would be in
There
box
you go.
presence, yeah.
Exactly. So if you'd brought in a player that can complement his game, put some of those crosses away, you're looking at so many more goals.
Well, if only we had 34 days to sort that out.
Well,
Yeah,
there
that
you
would
go.
have been great.
Try
Some
500,
Yeah,
600.
yeah. And like, you signed Pedro Neto, right? Who is not a goal scorer winger. He's known for putting balls into the box, and then you sign no striker with a box presence to get on the end of it. It's good decision making.
What this all ultimately comes down to as well is like something we've asked for a while. Early subs.
Yeah, it's proactive.
Change things up
Yeah.
Make
early.
4 substitutions
Yeah,
in like the
it was
65th minute.
proactive for the
And
first.
this is the thing we did in the first half
Yeah,
of the
that's
season,
what it
which
was
is why
doing,
we
yeah.
were so
Yeah.
effective in second halves, and
Yeah.
it's one of the things that have dried up recently. Early changes to the team. You get the players on more hungry, you give them more time to actually impact the game and to grow into it, and they got more time to get results. We've been missing this for a while. I'm just glad we finally got
This
there.
is the first time Maresca's made early subs in ages.
That might have been, the Guiu sub might have been his earliest one this
It was
season.
like 50 odd minutes. It was like
Yeah,
literally
bar the
5 minutes.
half-time
Yeah,
ones.
5 minutes into the second half.
And even then, like, I like the timing of it as well, because Jackson obviously was given the whole first half. If you take him off at halftime, you're indirectly telling everyone, I'm hooking Jackson because we're 1-0 down, and I'm telling everyone that he's the problem. You bring him on in the second half, let him get a run out, take him off 5 minutes. At least, like, I guess it works for him from a confidence perspective. So I like that too from a man management side.
I agree. And when Guiu come on as well, like, he is so much bigger than
He's so
everyone
physical.
thinks.
There you
He's a big boy. Like,
Yeah.
when you see him on the telly, like, he doesn't look that tall, does he? He
He's
looks quite
huge.
small, but
He's wham.
he's
so
massive,
wham.
mate. He's absolutely, and he's only 18.
Yeah, 18,
So he's only going to get
19,
stronger
yeah.
in that sense. But no, I'm a big fan of him. I know,
But like, I just worry that, like, can we really rely on them two to get us top 4?
no, definitely not.
Well, exactly,
Definitely
and
not.
that's the problem.
Definitely not. Especially if one of them gets injured, then that
I
puts too much pressure on the other
I
one.
just don't understand how we think it's okay to go with the rest of the season with that as a number 9 option. I just don't get it.
Because I think they're expecting that our wingers eventually are going to be goal-scoring wingers. They're
No,
gonna get
but like,
goals
no
up.
one watches Chelsea and thinks, "Oh, we didn't need a striker this month."
No,
but
exactly.
but it's okay because we've done loads of groundwork for the summer. Well, that's great. Well done, guys.
It's cool. Top 4 is a target and isn't a target.
Yeah.
So depending on where we
We're
finish,
ahead of
we'll figure
schedule,
it
guys.
out.
Remember that.
Yeah.
ahead of
You don't
schedule,
need a
yeah.
front of shirt sponsor next
No.
season either. And who cares if Nike Steel gets halved if we don't get UCL? We don't need it. It's not a
No,
target.
we don't want.
Yeah,
It's
not
not like we want
anymore,
that
too.
Jordan kit there or anything. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they can wait another year for us.
yeah.
They don't want Tottenham anyway.
I mean, yeah,
Man, the striking options
you
are
know
just
who
so
I, you know who I
poor.
spoke with yesterday. I spoke with Johnny. Actually.
bloody
He was
hell.
outside.
Who, Minerals?
Yeah, I
Oh,
spoke with
brother.
Johnny. But,
Mate, it was there-
but,
it
but
was
I have
there-
to,
was
because
it-
there was a protest.
How many people?
Yeah,
were
that
there?
was the FSA one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
They've
was.
been going
ticket
all
pri-
around England.
Yeah, ticket prices. Yeah.
And man are acting like it was a Clear Lake thing.
wasn't a
Like,
Clear
fair
Lake
enough
thing,
if
no.
it was. I'd
No,
respect it.
It
It's
wasn't.
not.
It wasn't. It was with West Ham fans as well. There.
It was quite small.
How many?
Maybe 20 people.
Yeah. So
20 people.
point.
Still better than the summer one.
Better, yeah, true. But this is
Turn up for that one.
but this is like an actual. This is an important matter though. So you would have expected maybe more people to turn up.
Well, I think it's
Well, I
the
don't know how
first step
advertised
for a
it
lot
was,
of
yeah.
people, just to get the message out. And I think the idea is not.
It's about ticket prices, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, but the idea isn't to stand out there and just shout for an hour. It's get your banner out, make sure people get pictures of it. It goes viral on social media, and you get your message
Yeah,
across.
I respect the
That's
purpose
basically
behind
what
it
I
anyway.
Has it gone viral?
You tell me.
It's just from
Well,
Have
I
you
don't know.
seen it on your feed?
It's
Well,
from
I
a
don't know.
ticket price perspective. We know what the situation is with the bridge. It don't make enough per match day, so half the place is being turned into hospitality until we can figure out what we're doing long term. If we can get that Else Court spot, I'll be real. Chelsea pitch owner's got to take it. That's the best available
Well,
spot
it is.
where you lot can keep the match day traditions and keep us in Chelsea.
But the worry about that would be is that instead of giving the extra capacity to like, I don't want to say proper fans, but to like match goers, mate, they just make it hospitality.
Well, they were going to do that to the new
Well,
bridge anyway.
yeah, true, they were, but that's what I mean. Like, there's not going to be any extra seats for like.
I'd at least like it in a
fan
spot
fans,
where
yeah.
I can potentially build above 60k because we're restricted at where we are. It's 60k and nothing else. You want to like spend double the price that we could spend on moving just to renovate to 60k, just for football to potentially develop in 30 years and for us to need another 20k extra, which means we'd have to move anyway. And then we go through this whole situation in another 20 or 30 years with another couple of billion spent.
Do you think we
It's
could,
a waste.
Do you think we could? I know it's about sounding stupid. Do you think we could fill 60 plus k? Because at the moment there's so many spare. No, hear me out.
Come on.
No, because there's at the moment, mate. It's, how many spares are there at a bridge at the moment? There's loads of empty
Yeah, but
seats.
I think half of the reason for that is because people are priced out.
It's the hospitality spots.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah,
Westview, half of West Lower is now hospitality. East Lower is a family stand, and half of East Upper is hospitality. It's just everyone being priced out now.
How much did your tickets go up by, Lewis?
Season tickets,
Because mine was $7.50 and they went up to
8.10.
up.
Yeah, same.
so it went up what,
£60?
60 quid?
60
Yeah.
quid.
So I think it was an 8% increase.
And that's just the start. It's going to keep going up because like our match day revenue is so far behind everyone else's.
That'll be, give it a couple of seasons. That'll be over £1,000.
100%.
Probably,
100%. And they'll just go, we're going in line with inflation, all of the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. But
like,
I mean,
if you were to have a new ground, you probably wouldn't have half of the standard seating being turned into hospitality. You just have hospitality sections and normal sections.
like Arsenal.
Yeah. And I get it, like we don't really want the wraparound corporate and everything. That was going to come with the new bridge or the other one. Just give me one where I can have over 60k and you actually increase the standard seating at the very least. Because they weren't even going to do that with the plans for the new bridge.
Yeah.
That was just going to be more. The extra capacity was just going to be hospitality.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
all
exactly.
hospitality
Yeah.
and no difference to the average seating.
What's your take on it, Nina?
I was just thinking about the atmosphere when you guys were talking about everything, because I think at the start yesterday it was good and I was like, everyone's pumped on a Monday night. But then I looked around, I think there's a lot of people nowadays that don't really know the chants, that come to the games.
Well, that's because
and not
they're
joining
just here
in.
from a tourist capacity.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because
And
they,
it was worse last season when people didn't really want to go. We were talking about this. When people come to London, they were going to like Fulham, they were going to Arsenal, they were going to Tottenham games. People weren't really coming to watch Chelsea. And it was even, you could look around, you could see the blue
Overpriced and
seats.
potch ball, I don't blame them.
but they're priced out though. People are priced out,
priced out
but
is
then
so
Premier League
true.
football is a tourist attraction, and people will pay money to see it. And like,
Speaking
You see
of,
people
did you
with
see
their
that
Megastore
DJ at
bags.
half time? I just saw the
mate,
video
that's,
earlier today.
bro, that's there all the time.
Yeah.
Is that every game?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
before
no,
the
it
games
is.
as
It's
well.
before the games as well. No, mate, that's there all the time. But that's a
I
new.
swear I've never seen it when I've gone to the
but
bridge.
Also, the new ACDC at the start.
No, but it's a new thing
The
this
track,
season. I
did
think
you
the
hear
DJ.
it?
I was
Because
like,
I saw like 1-0 down, you've got guys behind with their flags doing this.
Yeah.
Huh? We're losing a derby. And they've wheeled out a DJ.
Yeah.
What the... Man, I'm glad I wasn't there yesterday.
No, that's new this season. The DJ, isn't it? Because the DJ weren't there last season. Is that a new thing this season?
One
don't
thing
know,
you don't
I'm
need
not-
when
I
you're
don't
down in a
so.
derby is some fucking DJ playing some house music and some fucking idiots just with a flag doing some dead little dance. Fuck off.
No, but that's
Yeah,
what
but
they.
Lewis, the flags are always waved at half time.
No, but that's what they want.
Yeah,
though.
but like, miss me with the music and the DJ and this woke nonsense bullshit, man. This is
But
what
to
it
be fair,
is. This
let's
is
be
woke
real.
nonsense.
Other Premier League teams have like crazier halftime entertainment. Like ours is actually kept
What
to
half-time
the
entertainment
minimum.
other teams?
Bring
You
back
remember-
the good old
Like-
days when they just wheeled out a legend or a hero and just gave him a
Yeah,
lap
they don't
around the
do that
ground.
anymore.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Well, they do sometimes, but not that often.
But they
What
do,
about
like,
what
half
Palace
time.
do, where you have the
The
kids
the
doing the
cheerleaders.
penalty? No.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
fine by me.
Well, there you
But
go.
no, I was talking
Yeah,
about
Charlie
the
watched
they
Well, the
do
kids
the
doing the
penalty
penalties.
shootouts, don't
Yeah.
they?
Penalties.
That's all right, to be
I swear
fair.
we used to do that as well.
Yeah.
And the mascots come around and do stuff with the fans and things.
I did like a little mascot race or something.
That's very American, mate.
Or a mascot race.
Yeah, that's
Is
like
it?
proper.
Yeah, don't give them any suggestions.
No,
haven't seen
I
that
don't think.
one.
I wouldn't say that was an American thing.
Just get a cult hero around and give him a
Yeah.
lap of honour.
They used to do that all the time. Remember Flo?
Yeah.
And Zola.
No, they do
all
have
of these
legends
guys.
there,
Oh,
but
guys,
like,
I
yeah.
have another one for you.
Willian was there, like.
William was
Give him
there.
a
last
round.
Yes, William was
Yeah.
there.
He's
I didn't even
re-signed
know
for
this
Fulham.
until I saw a
Yeah,
fan
man's-
picture.
Yeah.
Fair play. I heard he was washed beyond belief at Olympiacos, but big up to you, innit?
Yeah, he was. Mate, he used. Did you see him last time? 'Cause he walked out, didn't he, down by the thing?
Oh, was he by fan
You
cabs?
talking
Yeah.
about
Willian.
half time
No,
or the
Willian.
fan
No,
No,
Willian.
fan cams.
I know who Willian is.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
asked-
Did you see him at the fan? He walked past the. Oh, you didn't
No.
see him. Oh, fair.
No, no.
He did. Yeah.
I saw that people had a picture with him. But
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see it. So he walked past us while
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
recording.
yeah.
Maybe it's
Did
on. Maybe it's on
Yeah.
camera.
No, this was not when we were there. Like,
Oh.
yeah, but when you were there, obviously, yeah.
Oh, maybe he is on camera then. I just didn't see
I
it.
don't know.
Cool.
But no, I mean, I don't really know what else to say.
Oh
to be
yeah,
honest.
what are your thoughts on how everyone's really against us saying we hate Tottenham now?
Oh, yeah, Matt's not a
I
fan.
mean,
It's been
it's-
around for a decade
it's
now,
so
but it ain't
annoying.
going anywhere.
But what? But
It's
why?
a strange thing to say.
I don't think it will ever stop.
I hear it.
At
It's
Tottenham,
just there
against
now.
Tottenham,
Just there.
fine. But
Yeah.
like, why are we doing it against like West Ham or like just other random teams?
We could change the team names, at least to who we're
What,
playing.
just to
Yeah.
adjust it.
We hate West Ham. Chelsea.
Yeah, that works.
It'll be a bit creative, but
Very
that might be a
brave.
bit past us right now.
Yeah, that's too much creativity probably for us. Yeah,
Yeah, it goes beyond our Chelsea. Chelsea.
yeah.
I mean, we've had some cracking chants over the years, but
Oh my
It
God,
seems
you-
like- it seems like
was
when
it
I-
you who started the Trevor Chalobah at the bar chant?
fucking love that chant.
Was it
I do try
you?
and get it going in Matthew Harding still.
I
Yeah.
Mate,
heard
it does
you. That was
sometimes
first
happen,
game
mate. It does
back.
sometimes happen.
Bro, I came back to the last game of the season against Bournemouth and I heard it at the back of gate
Yeah,
13.
it's there.
I was
Mate,
like, no way this is doing the rounds. How?
and when at Nottingham Forest away last year, I was saying it's the Fat, mate. When it was going then as well. It was going then as well.
I think we've got to keep it alive. Don't sell Chalobah, please. Please don't sell
but it's
Chalobah.
better
At
than
this
it's-
point, keep the brother.
But it's
I
better
just
than
want that
it's
chant.
better than the we've just now the Chalobah chant is just we've just literally switched Gallagher for Chalobah and it's the same chant now.
Yeah, that's
Cobham
what I
chants.
panicked when I heard the duh, duh, duh. I was like, oh no, what's coming? Because I forgot.
Dewsbury
I was
Hall's
like,
not even been bad today. What the fuck?
Oh my goodness. What haven't we spoken about,
Oh,
guys?
it's so
I feel like
hilarious.
I feel like we've brushed up on
Yeah.
most of the things.
Yeah, should we look ahead to some FA Cup action?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to put that idiot back in goal. Oh.
I don't think we'll do it. Though.
Well,
I don't
no,
think
I'm
we'll
not
do
sure
it.
we
I mean,
might.
there's a realistic chance that we can.
Well,
do
if he's
it,
the
but-
cup keeper now, he could potentially be.
But if
back in
it's
goal.
all about giving him a rest, you can't give him a 1 game rest. It's got.
Well, I mean, it's technically a rest, isn't it? But no, it's I'd be surprised if he went back in, but it can't be fully ruled out.
That's the thing, because if he has anything beyond like a disaster clause, they'll act like he's got better and he'll play the next game, and I can't be
Yeah.
bothered for it. I don't want to see this brother start another league game. I barely want to see him start a cup game or even the Conference League. I'd have just gone, just get rid. If he ever plays another game for Chelsea, it'll be too soon.
How much do you reckon if we ever do get a fee for him? What do you
10.
what do you generally think?
I would sell him for a 3-5. I'm not even kidding.
10 mil, 10 million. I
How
reckon
much is a
fair.
3-5 worth?
About 20-30.
20-30 quid.
Yeah, I'd sell him for that. In fact, 2 grams. That's all it was. He ain't worth shit.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
God.
Hey, listen, if Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, if they've got someone, maybe.
No, Ben
maybe
Roberts
they
is too busy having him wrapped around his finger. So it ain't going to make any difference.
Do you think if?
We just leave him in Brighton when we go there on Saturday.
Do you think there's a realistic
Oh, no, we
chance,
gotta go
even if we
back.
get top 4, that we need to change our sporting directors irrespective?
Mate,
of
Yeah,
Yes,
we-
yeah. They
Mate,
should be gone
if
tomorrow.
if we finish 20th or we win the league, they still need to go.
5 windows into a 4-window plan, and we're still missing a
spine.
goalkeeper. We're still missing an experienced centre back, and we still only have one striker.
And we
who's
still,
still
haven't got a
learning
number.
the
And we're
striker
still
role.
in number 6 as well.
Yep.
Really, yeah.
Oh no, we got the Amugu guy in it. But
Oh yeah. Of
But you're
course.
still missing this level of areas of the squad, and
Yeah.
you've spent over $1
And-
billion.
and
And I
you've-
know we've sold 600 million. Fine, you have invested
Yeah.
1.4. Why do we still have these areas that need to be strengthened?
And we've spent 45 million quid on Felix in the summer, signed a 7-year deal, and then 6 months later he's left.
Tried to get rid of Dewsbury Hall too.
And there's no accountability for that. Like they're just acting like that's fine and it's normal.
Jorgensen, another one signed. He's only just starting to get minutes now.
Mate,
It's a waste of resources.
Three players we signed in the summer, right, for best part of 100 million quid, were all for sale 6 months later. Vega's gone. Vega's gone. Felix is gone, and they wanted to get rid of Dewsbury Hall, but obviously we couldn't because we've got no options in midfield.
And the nerve of these guys trying to brief after being here for 3 seasons that we're not meant to be getting Champions League. When you lot sacked the last manager for it, which was again deserved, and then you spent 250 million to go backwards. Tell us we're going backwards.
Mate, the squad's got worse over the last 2 windows. How's that possible? You're going to improve the squad and it's got worse.
It actually reminds me of Man United. I mean, spending all this money and still getting nowhere. That's what
our squad's better than theirs, but yeah, I mean, it's still.
You know what I mean, though? Because I mean, they spent a lot of money.
It's more like Arsenal for me, where it's like you've built a good squad,
but at least now they're challenging, Lewis.
But here's the thing: like we could be on that area, and we're in similar position with them, where it's like we are this close to making the next step.
Yeah.
And we're not doing anything, and it's annoying.
But like
it's the same thing that happens with them all the time.
We're 2 or 3 positions away from actually being probably a serious team.
Yep.
And contending and pushing ourselves further up. But for whatever reason, for just window after window, it all just gets ignored.
Yeah, what's your take on it, Nina?
No, I mean, I've said this, like, a strike has been lingering and hanging on and it's been thrown into every next window and it's just always been there, like a blatantly obvious thing. And then, you know, when we signed Jackson that summer and they chose to kind of just put full faith in him because, you know, had a good preseason or whatever and he could be the guy, like, to suit this kind of young team, new kind of potential model. But it was just too naive for me to put that faith in him. And, you know, I'm not going to pretend like I didn't think he was decent. You know, he had a good first season, had decent numbers, but frankly we should have signed someone in the summer. And like Lewis is right in the fact that, you know, Arsenal probably look at their squad now and they know, like, when they signed Declan Rice they needed to make that signing to take them to the next step. Now they knew they obviously needed a striker as well to take them against that next level there. And I think that we've ignored all those blatantly obvious things. Like, you never really replaced Thiago Silva's experience. You didn't bring in a centre forward that is actually a centre forward and can put goals away. So I think even if they'd done that and they'd picked the wrong player, we would have seen and said, okay, at least you had the actual motivation there, like the ambition was there, but it wasn't. And I think that signing so many players for the future was great and all, but like, I don't want to see us sacrifice in the present day anymore. Like, we can't sacrifice top 4 this season. We can't sacrifice getting Champions League football next year.
But it just feels like there's no plan for the now. It's all the plan is literally all for the future. But what about now?
Yeah.
How long can we neglect the present before?
We can't. It's already too late, mate.
We neglected it last season.
It's already too. It's like you look back to the summer again. And you're thinking, why did you waste the whole summer hoping that Osimhen would drop his wages? Yeah. Why didn't you just forget him and go and sign someone else? The next person down the list. You wasted a whole summer thinking that, if it gets to desperation point.
And tried to pursue it on deadline day like it was going to happen in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. You wait the whole summer for it, hoping he's going to drop his wages, and you go and target no one else. And then you look like absolute idiots when he's not going to drop his wages, which we would have known that months ago. It's just
so Tim Pot.
One thing that I will say we've been quite good at, I mean, we've always been good at it, is selling players.
Sure.
But I think you also have to look at it from circumstances. Like, if you look at the window, for example, financially, you could look at it and you could say, well, it was a good loan fee for Vega considering what we paid for him.
Well, it's about half his price back. Vega, the loan fee. Disassi
was never playing anywhere. You're getting him off the books. You're cutting 50% of Chilwell's
wages. Nintendo rejected 6 million to accept 5 million.
No, I see what you mean, but it's all financially driven.
Also, having Nkunku priced at above
70,
above the fee we bought for him, like he's got better here, is ridiculous.
And they put 60 mil valuation on Joao Felix as if he's got £15 million better, and he started 3 Premier League games in 6 months, but that's a £15 million price increase. Are you mental?
I won't even front. I don't even think we've got better at selling. Be so real. There's been some good loans.
The fact that everything is driven by money now, and
this is the thing. We're flexing like, 5 million loan deal. Yes, put down the profit books.
Do you think that's why they say we're ahead of schedule? Because this was never really in the plans for us to
They're ahead
as
because they're
good
making
you
it
were
up
at
as
the
they go
start.
along. Top four's a target, then it's not a target, and then we're
No,
ahead
it
of
is.
schedule,
And they
even though
think
we're
they-
dropping
but
down
do you know
the
what's
table.
mad?
and it's
People
like-
actually believe it as well.
Well, this is the thing that I spoke with Johnny yesterday, and he thinks that they've just run out of money.
They've run out of money.
Because of PSR. They're not actually able to spend anymore without, not being within regulations.
That was already briefed a few weeks ago, to be honest, but that made the thought of putting 60 million on Garnacho even more baffling.
But we didn't.
But
do
it was already
But we
briefed
did-
a few
but
weeks
we
ago.
did-
We were
but
told
didn't
we
do
need
it.
to sell before we can buy another centre back.
I mean, Father yesterday when we did the fan cam, he said we've been linked with 49 players, and I went, "How do you know that, Father?"
He's been written them all
Got
down.
all of them written down on his phone with dates, timings, reporters. He's got all the references.
Scouting.
So we've been linked with 49 players, and we only bought one player for £12 million. If
Well,
you
we're
don't
linked with
include-
49
Even
players
then, like
this
our
month.
name gets thrown
in January.
in January.
But our name gets thrown into like nearly every transfer rumour. Chelsea are interested.
we're
Chelsea
always-
are monitoring and all
But
that.
we're always
garbage.
actually on the end of a lot of those signings. We'll be linked with players. We'll sign players as well. This is the first window in a long time that
Nothing.
we've been linked with people.
No one was even talking about us, guys. Like, we've literally been rocking the transfer headlines in the last year since the takeover, and now no one's talking about us.
We can't even dominate a transfer window
Yeah, we
anymore.
can't, we can't
we're
win a
not.
transfer
Yeah.
window.
We have
No
nothing to
dopamine
shout
except
about.
the
FOMO,
movie.
got
Yeah.
FOMO.
I mean, from my perspective, I do think that it's just been a disastrous January, and
It's been awful.
I predicted 5th before the season. I remember when we did our show in the gym, Charlie, which we need to get back into. I want to get that show going again. The reason we stopped, I just keep getting injured, so I can't go back
You're
in there.
old,
Proper
mate.
Chelsea.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am literally. But yeah, I mean, that's because I felt let down before the season, just because of the managerial situation. I thought it was strange, some of the business we did. But in the end, I thought we still made some good signs. So when you say it was a disastrous
No, we made some good
January-
signings.
disastrous summer. I don't fully agree with that.
No, it was. No, it was though, because we didn't really improve the squad that much. Dewsbury Hall not really better than Gallagher. Vega just coming in as a squad option. He's gone now. Felix was never even needed. And then there's like people like Kellyman. Tosin, okay, he's a squad filler or
I
whatever.
think there was some good ones. Tosin was a good signing
No, it
based
wasn't
on
a
the
good-
fact
was
that
it-
he was a free
Yeah,
transfer.
so it's good signs. We didn't pay any money for.
Pedro Neto was a good
Potential.
signing.
It's an opportunity.
Opportunity for free, yeah.
Jaden
exactly.
Sancho was a good signing.
No, but nothing else was good.
It was just the wingers.
That was it. We made 2 good signings in the summer.
And Guiu, from what we paid for him,
But that was an opportunity though, because it was £5 million release
I ain't got a
clause.
problem with that if you're getting good players on top of it.
Yeah, but we didn't.
No, but that's fair
we,
enough.
We don't know.
That's fair enough.
The guy is barely getting minutes until now.
We could have got top 4. We can still get top 4 with what we have,
But all
we
we
just
had to
have.
do-
a
We could have
very-
confirmed
we're
it with
working-
better moves.
Yeah,
we're,
we could have
we're
confirmed it
walking
this month.
on the edge. If
But the
anything
big
slips,
but
then
of course,
everything.
we look at it now, right? The teams we're competing with, right? Like 2 of the 3 teams we're competing with in terms of Villa, Newcastle, City.
Villa went crazy.
Villa
soon.
strengthened. They added Rashford. They added Asensio. I mean, they've added Disassi.
Oh,
Right?
Asensio's confirmed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Asensio, Disassi, Rashford. They've added a few others. So they've strengthened. City have added 4 players as well. So they're going to be in the mix. Newcastle, I don't think added anyone, but their team is pretty decent. And then everyone says that Forest are going to fall away, but they're still there. So all the teams we're competing with, most of them have made big improvements to their squad in the January window. We've made our squad worse, and we're still expecting to finish top 4.
Yep.
How?
Head scratch.
Let me ask you this: where do we go in the summer? Like, do you still think that we will address any of these issues in the summer?
We have to.
irrespective of where we finish.
Maybe depending on if we get into the Champions League, because then that means we can offer more wages. Everyone gets a 30% wage increase, and then that increases the minimum that we're willing to give people. So that's another reason why it's important. Then you add the front of shirt sponsors, you add the Nike deal or potentially the Jordan deal on top, and the UCL money you stand to get. Maybe, but you have to get Champions League, and we've left that in the balance.
And if you don't do that and you say you have to go proactive, what are you going to do with how are you going to be proactive and attract the big stars or the bigger names?
I already know what's happening in the summer. We're signing Liam Delap. We've already sold like one of our like youth team players to Ipswich. That's definitely some sort of a sweetener little thing for the Delap deal in the summer. Of course,
We
it
could have
is.
just done it now. My whole thing was like just loan them Hugh till the end of the season. It's not like you play him anyway.
Well, exactly.
Do you think
If you stay up, you can have him for another year.
Yeah.
There was a I was speaking with Kev about Ugachukwu, and one of the reasons that we didn't bring back Ugachukwu
Because they want him to play to boost his values when they sell him, mate.
No, because of Dibbling. So we wanted to keep Southampton happy, potentially to sign.
Mate, Dibbling don't want to come to us. We had Dibbling and he left because he was homesick. So I don't think he's suddenly going to become less homesick.
Come on. He's not going to stay at Southampton just because.
No, but he won't come. He won't come. We don't need him. We need another.
Where's he going to go? Portsmouth.
We need another teenage. We need another teenage attacking midfielder. Do we?
No, I'm just saying. No,
Dibbling,
I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm saying that's what I can.
It's
what I can imagine them
You
doing.
could just get him and loan them Tyreek George for goodness sakes. They're not even going to be here next season. Give him the championship experience.
Hopefully next season Mudryk will be back.
Mate,
You'd be lucky if you see him in 2 years.
I think he got tested. He was okay in his
No,
first
that was
test.
that was bullshit, mate.
BS.
That was
that was bullshit.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was
There's been no
bullshit.
reports on Mudryk.
Oh, where did that come from?
Mate, someone just made
It's
it
just
up.
some
on
random
Twitter.
on Twitter with like 95 followers.
Just made it up. Yeah.
And people just kept.
Yeah.
Mate, that's how
Well,
stupid.
clearly it
people-
works,
That's how.
Alex.
Yeah, you believed it, mate.
That's how mad PR is real, guys.
Bro, if
PR is so
Mudryk passed the second test, that would be front page headlines and
Yeah.
everything. You'd hear Sky, BBC, everyone talking about it.
I hope
But,
he
but,
does.
but legitimately, where is that B sample?
I don't know, but I'd expect him to fail anyway, so it don't
Yeah.
matter. Just matter of time for
you
it.
expect
because
him-
no,
It's the same
yeah.
sample going to be retested.
Yeah.
The same one that he failed with, and they're retesting it again.
How
Why
long
is it
is it-
going to come back with a different result?
Yeah, 99% of the time it comes back positive.
How long?
He's
does-
already coming up with reasons as to why that got into his system anyway. So it's like,
I don't know where it is though. The sample though. I don't understand where it is.
I haven't got a clue.
Any day they'll end up bringing it back, but whatever. He's gone in my eyes. Like, it's
I think
life
he
after
is gone.
Mudryk.
Even if he's banned for 18 months on mitigating circumstances or whatever, like we can't really think about Mudryk for the next couple of seasons.
Wow.
Yep.
That's the reality, unfortunately.
Especially with what we paid for.
And that was recruitment's one of the biggest ambitious signings there as well, guys.
Yeah. Great. Probably worth if we end up having to release his contract. I assume we're going to end up suing the Ukrainian FA or something.
Yeah, because it happened on international duty, didn't it? So
Yep.
like,
Is it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
went
no,
on
no.
Chelsea due. It's like October international break.
Damn.
Because like you can't get
that substance is not
thing-
available in UK. Yeah.
Eastern Europe. It's an over-the-counter thing in like Eastern Europe apparently. That's what my research said.
I can't.
Yeah, it's
keep
not
up with
available in UK. Yes, that's it. It did happen on international duty. So I don't know what happens in terms of like Chelsea can take action against Ukraine FA or whatever. I don't know.
it. Let's finish off with.
I was going to say anything
Oh, go on.
cheery, anything positive. to
Yeah.
wrap
Well,
up?
it could be positive.
We're in the top 4 and we're still in the FA Cup.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Here's my question to you guys, and we'll go around. Nini can go first.
Is it
Go on.
short answers? Yeah.
30-second answer. Let's say it like that.
Jesus. All right.
Sorry, 30 seconds for you, 20 actually for you. So then you'll get to 30.
Will Chelsea finish in the top 4?
I think top 5, and then hopefully that's
That wasn't
enough
the
to
question.
get Champions League football.
So you answer.
Sorry, can I answer? I've got 30 seconds.
So your answer's no, basically, because you think top 5, so it's no, top 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think 5th.
I mean, I don't mind hearing why. I don't mind.
Yeah, go on, let's hear why.
No, go on then. Let's hear you. Short answers only. Will Chelsea finish in the top 4? Yes or no,
No, I
Mr.
said
Rambler?
I said no last night, so I'm sticking with that because
Okay.
we made the squad worse and we haven't got good enough options available.
Sorry, why are you explaining it?
But I'm done in about 15 seconds there.
Well, that's how long I was talking to. Apparently, it was too much. Lewis?
Oh, I was going to leave you lot to it.
Yeah, mate, top 4.
Yes, top 4. We're making it.
Why?
Belief.
Just believe.
I'm expecting to pull that idiot back in goal anyway, so it's
Yeah.
just genuine copium.
Trust the process?
Yeah.
I trust in the manager.
Yeah.
And this whole board and everything, they're pissing me off by the
We
week.
trust
Stop
mate.
now. You've got the police sat next to
No,
you.
no,
and
no,
he's
no,
gonna-
no, no,
yeah.
no, no.
Alex?
I'm going to say no. I think we'll finish 5th. But I think
But that'll be enough.
that might-
Champions
that might
League.
still be
will
enough, yeah.
That'll be
I think
enough.
Aston Villa will finish above us. And I think,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so you think that we're going to finish above City and Newcastle?
I think that City will probably finish above us as well.
But so you're predicting Forest to drop out?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough, isn't it? You wouldn't
Well,
expect.
yeah, true.
But,
But I mean, they're still there.
They are still there now. I mean,
Loki, I think City end up in Europa.
Yeah, I, think
I
they
would
might as
love that. I'd absolutely love it.
It'd be funny for them. They'll win Europa anyway, so. Who cares?
There you go. Well, listen, big up to everyone for watching. Check out everyone's channels as well. We've got all of the channels in the description as well.
Sponsors, mate.
No sponsors today.
No sponsors
so
today.
We'll speak about that later. But yeah, no sponsors today. And all the best.